You know the #1 predictor of a sudden spike in your ad cost? It's not your competition. It's a slow, predictable psychological death happening inside your creative. We've all been there, right? An ad is just crushing it one day, and the next it's a black hole for your money. We're left wondering what happened. But what if I told you it wasn't sudden at all? What if there were flashing red lights that we've all been trained to completely ignore?
And this right here is the big mistake, the paradox of modern media buying. We are obsessed with watching the final score, the cost per acquisition, or CPA, how much you paid to get that one new customer. We think it's the ultimate truth, but honestly, it's an illusion. Because by the time your CPA spikes, the game is already over. You've already lost. Your ad wasn't outbid by a competitor, it was silently defeated by your own audience's brain.
So that leads us to the big question for this entire explainer. If that final cost spike is the wrong signal, what are the right ones? What are those hidden clues, the leading indicators that can tell you an ad is about to fail, giving you the power to pull the plug before you start burning cash? Well, there are 3 of them, and happen in a very specific order, every single time. Today, we're going to uncover them.
All right, let's get into it. Here's our roadmap. First, we're going to talk about why this creative death is so predictable. Then, we'll look at the real financial cost of waiting too long. The main event will be breaking down the 3 stages of failure. After that, we'll dive deep into the psychology of why this all happens, build a simple framework to stop it, and wrap it all up with the most important lesson of all, knowing when to just stop talking.
Okay, so first things first, why is this so critical right now? This isn't just some abstract theory. We're talking about a very real, very expensive problem that basically every business is facing today. It's getting crazy expensive to find new customers. This means every single dollar you spend on ads has to work incredibly hard. The pressure is just immense. You can't afford to just let ads run until they crash and burn. You need a system to protect your budget. Running a tired ad, even for a couple of extra days, isn't just a little inefficient. It's like actively setting your money on fire. So having a way to diagnose this problem before it happens, well, it's never been more important.
Now, to build that system, we have to understand a basic principle of human psychology that explains why ads work at all. It's called the mere exposure effect. Think about it like a song on the radio. The first time you hear it, you might not even notice it. The third time, it's kind of catchy. By the 10th time, you're singing along. That's it. Familiarity makes us feel comfortable. It breeds trust. But this effect has a dark side.
And this is where it all flips. The mere exposure effect isn't a one-way street. It has 2 totally different phases. On the left, you've got the good stuff. Initial exposure builds trust, people start to like your ad. But then you cross a line, a tipping point into excessive exposure, and look what happens on the right. The whole thing reverses. That warm familiarity sours into annoyance. Liking it turns into actively avoiding it. The very thing that made your ad work is now the very thing that's killing it. So we know this psychological switch gets flipped. The billion-dollar question is, why do we keep letting it happen? The simple answer is we're all staring at the wrong dials on the dashboard. Waiting for that CPA number to jump is a totally reactive move. It's like waiting for your car engine to start smoking before you even think about checking the oil. This line says it all. This is the new rule. It's a total mindset shift away from damage control and towards proactive budget protection. The goal isn't to try and save a dying ad. It's to perform a mercy killing before it drains your bank account. Every single dollar you spend on an ad that's crossed into that annoyance phase is a dollar you've completely wasted. Let me be perfectly clear about this. CPA is a lagging indicator. It's an autopsy report. It tells you what already went wrong. By the time that number finally spikes, it's just confirming a psychological death that happened days, maybe even weeks ago. Your audience checked out long before the data caught up. Watching your CPA is like trying to drive a car forward while only looking in the rearview mirror.
Okay, so if CPA is the rearview mirror, what's the windshield? What are the right signals to watch? This is where we get into the forensics. An ad's failure isn't some random accident. It's a predictable 3-act play. And once you learn to see the evidence, you can't unsee it. You basically learn how to predict the future of your ad spend.
And here they are. It always happens in this exact order. Stage 1, rising frequency. This is the first clue. The ad platform is starting to run out of new people to show your ad to, so it just shows it to the same people again and again. Stage 2, decaying click-through rate, or CTR. This is the behavior change. Your audience has now seen it so many times, they just ignore it. They stop clicking. And finally, stage 3, rising CPM. This is the platform itself penalizing you. The algorithm sees that nobody's clicking, so it labels your ad as low quality and literally charges you more money just to show it.
Now, this is the most important part of this whole thing. Stage 2, that decaying click-through rate, is your final exit off the highway before a crash. The second your CTR starts to consistently drop, that is the fire alarm. That is your last safe moment to act. At this point, yeah, your audience is ignoring you, but the platform hasn't started hitting you with a financial penalty yet. If you wait any longer, you are making a conscious decision to pay more money for worse results.
And this chart just shows that chain reaction perfectly. Look at it with me. As this first bar, frequency, goes up and up, it pushes down on the second bar, CTR. People see it too much, they stop clicking. And that drop in CTR is exactly what causes the final cost, your CPA, to shoot through the roof. It's a perfect cause and effect relationship. High frequency is the cause, low CTR is the effect, and the skyrocketing CPA is the inevitable, predictable result.
Okay, so we know what happens. We see the sequence. But to really master this, to make it second nature, we have to understand why it happens. We need to look past the spreadsheets and get into the root cause, basic human psychology. This isn't really about algorithms, it's about how much we as humans hate being annoyed. The main psychological force at play here is something called psychological reactance. It's that feeling you get when a friend says, "Oh my God, you have to watch this show." What's your first instinct? I don't know. We just have this built-in resistance to being told what to do. When we feel like our freedom to choose is being pushed or manipulated, we automatically push back. An ad that we see too often starts to feel less like a friendly suggestion and more like a nagging command.
And that's the key. Overexposure doesn't just make people zone out, it creates active resistance. The person scrolling feels like they've lost control of their own social feed, their own space. This triggers an urge to take that control back, either by ignoring your ad or worse, by starting to feel negatively about your entire brand. Your ad has gone from being a guest to being an intruder.
This slide maps out that whole journey happening inside your customer's head. It starts great, right? You're building trust, creating familiarity. But then you hit that tipping point. Too much exposure and that good feeling turns into neutral indifference. Then comes saturation, seeing it again and again and again, and that triggers the full-blown annoyance and resistance we just talked about. Your job is to pull that ad before it ever gets to that last stage.
All right, we've diagnosed the illness, we've identified the symptoms in order, and we understand the psychology causing it. So now what? Now we build the cure. Let's put together a simple, practical system you can use to make sure this never destroys your budget again. It's time to go from just diagnosing the problem to mastering the solution. And the solution is a really simple 3-step framework. You'll notice it's designed to directly fight back against those 3 stages of failure. Step 1, define your frequency threshold. Step 2, monitor for that CTR decay. And step 3, create a kill list and have replacements locked and loaded. See, it's not about complex math, it's about discipline and watching the right things. So here's how you actually do it. First, define your annoyance limit. Figure out at what point people start to get tired of your ads. A good starting point is usually showing it to the same person 3 to 5 times in a week. Set up alerts for that. Second, watch your intervention signal. The main signal to kill an ad is a clear, steady drop in its click-through rate. Even if the CPA still looks decent, that's your cue. And finally, and this is so important, have proactive replacements ready. You need a bullpen of fresh, tested ads ready to go so you can immediately put your money behind the next winner. Okay, let's bring this all home. We've gone from the big picture problem all the way down to a specific, actionable plan. But what's the one big idea, the core truth that powers this whole system? This is it. This is the whole thing. Ad failure isn't a surprise. It's not a lightning strike. It's a slow, predictable process that is hardwired into human psychology. People will always tune out things that annoy them. So by shifting your focus away from the lagging signal of CPA and onto the leading signals of frequency and CTR, you are simply aligning your strategy with how people actually behave. You gain the ability to see what's coming and protect your budget. And maybe just as important, you start respecting your audience's time and attention. And really, that's the final lesson here. The best marketing isn't about being the loudest voice in the room. It's about understanding the conversation. It's about offering something valuable and then having the wisdom and the discipline to know when you've said enough. The most powerful, efficient, and respectful advertising is built on one simple principle: knowing when to stop talking.